Chapman. Capo. Run. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bed. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a threat. It's a bed. Yeah. Let's go. Get my wrist. Whoa. Top. Yeah. Whoa. You know it. Blowing again. From. Whoa. Yeah. Making a killing. Oh yeah. In respect. It's a check. None less. Oh yeah. I'm a threat. Yeah, it's a bet. going again. From. Whoa. Yeah. Making a killing. Oh yeah. In respect. It's a check. Nothing less. Oh yeah. It's a threat. Yeah. It's a bet. Yeah. Ooh. It's a threat. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Bag it up. Talk. DNA. Whoa. 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 In respect.
Hello and welcome along to the very last day of the eFootball Championship Pro 2022 competition. The professional league where the world's top esports players from 8 of Europe's top clubs come together to fight it out for ultimate glory. Each club fields a 3-man team in a 1v1 format with the ultimate aim of lifting this here butte right next to me. And the great news is today that's exactly what's going to happen as we crown our 2022 champion. I'm Summer Hunter, I'll be your host throughout today, and I'm very pleased to say that we're in some great company indeed. We have the dynamic duo and commentary pair of Harry Channon and Stuart Wesley, or Wezza as you all know him in the gaming world, here with us today. Guys, it's been a long and winding road, but here we are, the big day, the biggest one of all. Emotions will be running high, no doubt. What are your expectations?
Oh, it's been such a long road to this point. Players have battled back and forth, but now is time to crown the champion. My expectations are, I have absolutely none. I have no idea what's going to happen today. So looking forward to some unpredictable action today.
Yeah, all the smoke is cleared, all the dust has settled. We are now down to the final throws of this competition. We have our third and fourth place playoff, and of course we have the big grand final. There's 2 games that are very much on the cards as blockbusters.
It's an exciting day, no doubt, a thriller of action. I'm very happy to see that Harry hasn't gotten off his fence from last night. He's brought it on over to today as well. But speaking about what we can expect later on in the day, we will get to that, but a friendly reminder of how we actually got here in the first place. So a look back at the quarterfinals, the semi-finals yesterday. Guys, I don't know if we really touched on it. It might be worth doing so now. About the experience factor. You have the likes of a Bayern München and AS Monaco who have made it into the finals. The Germans who have won this competition before. The same with AS Monaco. They've reached the finals 3 times on the bounce. And they were 2 clubs that, had a little bit of a sticky time in the group stages, but they kicked things into gear in the quarterfinals when it mattered most. The new kids on the block, sort of, Celtic, Roma, they ended up, after a brilliant start to the season, having to settle for fighting for 3rd place. Should we be factoring in that experience, do you think, to all of this as well?
Yeah, there's a lot of intangibles that you can't really measure or put onto paper that these Bayern and Monaco players seem to possess, Wes. Big talking point, of course, as we take a look at the bracket is the fact that the 2 teams that topped the groups and therefore bypassed the quarterfinals now face each other in the third and fourth place match. The big question is, who's going to be that one that fails to win a knockout stage match this season? Because it has to be one of these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of talking points as we look at the tree. We talked at length yesterday about the teams that had the buys into the semi-finals, whether they were caught cold. Again, with the data in front of you, you'd go, absolutely, they were caught cold. We talk about kind of a championship mentality from the two teams that are in the final today. A lot of these players have been there, have done it, have worn the proverbial t-shirt and know how to get across the line. So, as great as it was for, Celtic and Roma to top their groups, it's one thing doing it in a group stage. It's a very different thing doing it in a knockout stage.
That it is. We have the finals, of course, to come, Semra. But that third, fourth place match is a pretty tasty co-main event as well.
Tasty, it does seem to be a word that we like using quite often here, don't we? And for very good reason, of course. It will be a tasty tie. But also, before we get to that, we want to highlight some delicious goals to go along with it. And so now we're going to pick out our very best goal from the quarterfinals and semi-finals yesterday. Let's find out who wins.
Alexis Maccabeal starting off very strongly indeed. Ben Yedder, it's only taken him 4 minutes.
Congrats to our team for scoring the goal of the day in our team.
So there you have it. The award goes to Ismailable for his first goal against Galatasaray in the quarter-final round between those two clubs. It was a brilliant goal indeed for a lot of different reasons, not least for the fact that at the time it was actually the fastest goal of the competition. It was neatly taken, cool as you like, and with just 3 minutes 30, something like that, on the board as well. And it was quite a statement from Ismailable, wasn't it, as well? Because we'd been talking throughout the competition that we were waiting to really see what we know he's capable of, and that really set him a bit on the warpath yesterday, didn't it?
Statements, and he and his club mates next kind of been trading blows back and forth as to who was going to be the fastest goal scorer of the competition. I think, touch wood, maybe we have the answer to that as Maccabeal went on later in the day, where to score within 1 in-game minutes. But this one was a perfect start to a knockout campaign for a Monaco team that really wants to go all the way this season.
Yeah, I remember us on commentary, I mentioned to you, be careful of what you wish for from us, Maccabeal, and there's been plenty of question marks over him. Let's not beat about the bush here. We've all kind of questioned a little bit as to how his performances have been. That goal, in terms of the technique that he pulled off, it was very much Return of the King. It was dummies, it was displacing your defenders, and it was able to put the ball in the back of net very early on. It set his stall out for his entire day yesterday. I believe he doubled, as we saw in one match, he doubled his goal tally. He's now up to 10 in the competition.
Doubt him at your peril, Semra. He has a chance of a second eFootball Championship Pro crown today, later on in the final.
He is a man on a mission, no doubt about that. Let's actually catch up with him now then to get his reaction, his thoughts as to winning this award, because I'm sure he'll be absolutely delighted and also in good company. I hope your dog's with you again today. We actually loved it yesterday. How are you both feeling about picking up this award?
First time I'm very happy because it's the first time since 2019 we never win best goal. It's first time with Monaco. I never scored a goal like this. Me, I score always a clinical goal. I prefer clinical goal, but it's feeling. I score with feeling, and I'm very happy. And I hope the same against Bayern Munich.
So how did it happen then? If you say that this is not the type of goal that we'd usually score, how did it come about? And especially because it was so fast, you seem very determined to take a very positive result yesterday.
Like I say, it's a feeling goal. For me, it's a feeling goal. I play fast and I score. It's a beginning of game. It's difficult to score a goal in the match, and a goal like this is a dream. I'm very happy to win this best goal.
Well, very happy for you as well. Congratulations. Another one to add to the long list of accolades that Usmakaville already has, of course. And that is the best goal of the day from yesterday. We still have 2 more awards to hand out, and that will be at the end of today, because of course the competition ends in just a few hours' time. And that will be the best goal of the day for today, as well as the MVP award. But other awards that we have been given out already are the best players of each group. In the case of Group A, that was Celtic's captain, Kills You, and Group B, it was Roma's captain, Orma. Now, having said that, I can imagine that all of our esports players have been doing their very best to strengthen their dream teams in order to get their hands on these individual prizes, because they are very tasty indeed. And they would have done so by getting their hands on the eFootball Championship Pro Club Packs. Each pack, of course, includes 11 players from Europe's most prestigious clubs who have performed at the highest level in the 2021-22 campaign. And the good news is that all of these players have also been topped up. They've been upgraded so they can have an immediate impact straight away on your squad. And even better news is that they're available for purchase, both for your console and for your mobile as well. So let's take a quick look at one of these packs. We can start with AS Roma. Exciting times if you're an eFootball player, because it's just getting better and better, isn't it, Harry? What are some of the other details that they at home need to know about these club packs?
Well, you have the premium club packs featuring Barcelona, Manchester United and Bayern München players. We've seen Wes alongside the standard club packs from the other eFootball Championship Pro clubs this season. These players within these packs being utilized at the very highest level, which is going to be important for the people at home when you consider, of course, the eFootball Championship Open starts tomorrow.
Yeah, they could be key pieces to your eFootball puzzle. I mean, we saw it a lot yesterday with AS Monaco. We saw Ben Yedder and Fofana used to great effect. And you'll see throughout all of these packs, there's a lot of high-powered players that are able to slot into your squads very quickly.
Of course, not just those players from the club packs as well. You get those training programs, the featured 11, and of course, some XP to boost them up as well. In the premium club packs, you can see there exclusive player cards with the signatures. So make sure you're utilizing some of these items. Check them out in game. See if you fancy picking them up, and you could be using them in the eFootball Championship Open starting tomorrow. That's not the only thing you can do, of course. Thanks to the victory giveaway campaign Konami are running this season in conjunction with the clubs that are participating in the season. Every single time that your club wins a game, that is not one match, that is a game within a match, your club will be handing out these prizes to some lucky winners. All you have to do is make sure you're cheering on your team and, of course, following them throughout the competition. Every single time they win a game, these goodies could be yours. Keep an eye on their social media platforms. That's not the only thing, of course, you at home can be participating in this season. We have the viewing campaign. 500 eFootball points can be yours if you tune in to the match streaming service today. Make sure you are doing this from within the game, otherwise these points will not be accredited to you. But 500 eFootball points, Semra, it's not bad for tuning into an excellent competition and a great final we'll have today.
At all. I highly suggest that you listen to Harry and you follow those instructions, because there are all kinds of great things that you can certainly take away from this viewing for today, and wonderfully exciting day that we have ahead. Now, speaking of which, let's go ahead and see what we have in store with these 2 matches coming up just around the corner. Of course, we've got in reverse order. It's going to be the 3rd and 4th place match up first between Celtic and Roma. Then it will be followed by the grand finale between Bayern Munich and AS Monaco.
Yeah, a huge game today to kick us off in the 3rd and 4th place match, Semra.
That it is indeed. Well, right, let's see then what all of these clubs have in store for us then, and maybe to whet our appetite a little bit. Let's get a little bit of a teaser then as what we can expect from these matchups.
Hello and welcome back to the eFootball Championship Pro 2022.
There are storylines all over the pitch. Mariano and Gian is here for what could be the winner. And that is absolutely fabulous. The importance, isn't it, of keeping the fate of your own team within your own hands.
All your games are played, all of it's done. It's now in your hands.
Here as well, and oh no, I think it's Wan-Bissaka. Gets it under control. We are going to have an incredible end to this incredible tournament we've had so far.
It's going to be epic.
It's going to be chaos.
We all love a little bit of late drama, don't we?
So if that doesn't get you excited, then I don't know what will, but it certainly is going to be a scintillating day ahead between both of those matchups. But for now, we're going to focus our attentions on the first one that is coming up just around the corner. It's the battle for that third place on the podium, and it's between Celtic and AS Roma.
Come on the hoops. Dai Roma.
All right, well, it certainly is a very fascinating encounter, that one. We do have to wait just a little bit longer. I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seats, keep you waiting in anticipation for that big clash. But first, we're going to take a quick look. We saw earlier what we can expect from the club pack when it comes to Roma. Let's see what we can have on offer then when it comes to the Scottish team. Okay, well, now it is go time, my friends. We can finally turn our attentions to game one of the third place match and see who's going to feature for Celtic and AS Monaco. It's going to be Kills-You against Stifler. Now, this is quite intriguing indeed. Kills-You, it seems as though Celtic are going to stick to the plan and go in the same order as yesterday. Perhaps a bit of redemption for him after falling short in that game one last time out. When it comes to Stifler, well, they've completely changed the script, haven't they? Stifler was third in the list yesterday, didn't even get a chance to play. He's up first for today, so we'll we'll see how that pans out for him and for the Romans. But just a quick note, as ever, to remind you all that who is going to be keeping a watchful eye on all things related to the rules of this tournament is going to be our referee, Sergio Parraga. There he is, locked in, laser focused, as always, lots of concentration. Of course, it's a very big day indeed. I'm sure he'll do a wonderful job for us. But going back to that first matchup, guys, let's just very quickly get your thoughts as to what you think might happen here.
He would be pretty gutted, considering his performances in the group stages, to have gotten this far and yet not play a game in the knockout stages. Whereas I think that's maybe what Roma are thinking here, but also because it did not go to plan yesterday with Gagliardo starting out.
Yeah, I think that might be some of the thought process behind it, because, as you said, Stifler would have been very disappointed to not have participated in that semi-final. And, you know, of course, we will never know what impact he would have had on that semi-final, but now we're going to be able to see what effect he's going to have in his third, fourth place playoff. I think looking at how Kilzu's going to react to this, I think Kilzu, again, has been fantastic throughout this tournament and will be looking to just set a statement. You know, as much as some people may think, oh, well, they might experiment now that it's only the third, fourth place playoff, it's not the final. These guys will be going all for it. It won't just be a kind of walk in the park and, oh, we'll just try and do some things that we'd not normally see in their teams. Instead, they'll be going all guns blazing for this.
That they will. We say thank you, of course, to Semra and the team in the studio, our referees, our team in the back, making sure we can get through to this point, the third and fourth place playoff. You can see the teams just sorting out their dream teams. A bit of housekeeping, of course. Remind you that this is now a best of three. So if you're just joining us, maybe missed yesterday's knockout stage action, we're in best of 3 games territory now. No points, no aggregate score, forget all that. Each game counts for 1 win. The collective team strength is still very much the same within Dream Team. 2,300, that has to remain on the level or below. But now we turn our attentions, as we are moments away from kickoff, towards Kilzu and Stifler. Celtic and Roma yet to meet this season. They were both, of course, top of their respective groups. Celtic topping Group A, Roma topping Group B. As a result, they bypassed the quarterfinals, but could not get the business done in the semis. So here they find themselves, and it is Stifler starting off very strongly indeed. Well, hang on just a moment. We might need to get the stopwatch out here, because that may well be a new contender for fastest goal of the tournament.
I think that was barely inside a minute, I think, looking at it. But we talk about the goal. I mean, you look at the way that obviously it's been conceded. You can see from the actual kickoff, you see there's 3 players already sprinting forward. In a 1v1 scenario, you can only stop 1. That's the issue you have as a 1v1 player. If you have got 3 players running at you, you can only pick out 1 defender to try and stop something. If you've got 3 players and you pick the wrong one, you just can't stop it. So again, as quick as it's been, it's just a choice you've got to make at that point, and Stifler often running straight off the bat.
And up the other end is Celtic straight away. Turnbull stretching for it. Barely even time to introduce the teams. We have Roma attacking from left to right, as they have already done so successfully. Celtic will come the other way at them. But not the ideal start for the best player of Group A, Kilzu, the captain of Celtic, sent out first, as he has been for every game this season, I believe, for Celtic. Maeda's through here for him, and it is wide of the target.
Slipped at the crucial moment. Really good movement from Kilzu there. Again, had it with Hatate, just pulls up, allows a pass to go in, and it's that neat little inside ball. I don't think any of the Roma defence were anticipating. Just slipped at the vital moment.
Clear disappointment from Killian there. Losing balance at the crucial moment, but that will give him hope, I feel, for the rest of this game one. Still inside the opening 10 in-game minutes, by the way. Because we need winners in each of the games you will see today. Extra time and penalties may well be needed. We're well and truly into knockout football now. Hills winning the ball back. It's always difficult when you do concede first and early in a match to find your footing, but Hills was doing his best to do that. But here comes Mkhitaryan. Maeda, who has always been very difficult to deal with on that Celtic front line. Can't quite find his way through, though. Since that goal, Wes, it's been a fairly open affair. We had that chance from Kilsey, but it seems to have settled down now slightly. Both players just trying to unlock the other at this moment in time. Stifler trying to let it run, but there's a collision with a couple of players there. It will be Kilsey of Celtic to clear the ball.
Yeah, I think if you're both players, you're trying to kind of calm down a little bit, you know, again, and we talk about mentalities and getting back into a bit of a rhythm. That's what Kilsey needs to do here. We get, you know, yeah, all right, it's disappointing that you've conceded in the manner that you have and how early it was, but you've got to get yourself back into that mindset of, okay, I need to go and score here. And we've seen one chance already.
Oh, what a ball that is to Turnbull! Scintillating pass there. On the stroke of 25 minutes gone. We are all level now. It's one apiece.
Goal! After 25 minutes is...
It's a great ball into the box, as you'll see. A lovely reverse ball in. A great finish as well. And you know, as we were saying, Kilsey just needs to get back into that mode of, okay, let's calm down. Let's get past that goal. You know, you can certainly chalk up the Roma goal as a bit of a flash goal, if for lack of a better term. If you've seen in other sports, you talk about flash knockouts. It was a flash goal. It wasn't something that was expected. That was every bit of meaning and every bit of technique from Kilsey there. And as we said at length, these Celtic players are getting every sinew out of their squad. You know, we talk about the 2,300 team strength or the collective strength of the team. You can see they're getting every bit of energy out of this squad, and they're performing well above their means.
And Tate on this near side, stunning cross in towards Maeda. Another one attempted. It will be a corner, though, on the half-hour mark. Hearing from our team in the back, as Maccabeel's goal yesterday was 1 second in game slower than Stifler's, but Kilsey is now into the lead. Just past the half-hour mark. From 1-0 down, 3 goals in this first half means that Kilsey is now up 2-1.
That's more like it, young man. Keep your composure, keep the energy level, keep that pressure on. And granted, it comes from that type of corner. It's driven in. I think it's Bitten. Was it Bitten? I think it might have been. They got on the end of that. He's very much a focal point at set pieces for this Celtic side. But 2-1 lead now. Keep your head. Keep going at it. If you're Stifler, of course, you're going to be smarting, because the only chance you've had is from that first minute. That you've not had any other real chances to speak of.
Yeah, I was just talking about as that goal went in from Kilsey. And in fact, I might even have to hold myself here again, as Kilsey has a couple of members to look for here. It's Hatate! Took a touch in the box when maybe the first time strike was available. Danger not cleared here for Roma either. Diogo just holding himself here is Kilsey. McGregor. Hatate, patient build up here. Turnbull. Stunning strike! Oh, yes! That is what we want to see. A successful stunning strike. Turned in by the captain. Kills you up 2 now. It's 3 goals to 1.
Yeah, you can see just slowly building up, looking for the gap. Takes a dummy, just gets the strike. It's a beautifully dipping shot from David Turnbull. And again, technique on it is all for all to see. And again, you'll see it again just from behind the goal. Takes the defender out of the game. Maeda almost runs like almost a screen almost. Gets out of the way just in truth. It's a brilliant finish. But again, kills you. Recovered very early from that, like I said, that flash goal. That and we said at length yesterday, if chances are there for you and you're not taking them, at least you've still got those chances and you're still making those chances. The question mark for Stifler at the moment is that there's been no chances since that first minute. So as a result, you're not creating opportunity to even get to a point where you can go, oh, I've pulled a shot wide or pushed a shot wide. Instead, Kilzu has been having chance after chance after chance and has been converting them at will.
As we approach half-time, Stifler bring the ball forward now, has willing runners as well. One of them is Abraham. Oh, Hart clears somewhat half-heartedly. The ball is booted into the stands. If Kilsey gets a wiggle on here, he could maybe have the last attack of the half. We need to see forward progression though, and we did not see that at the interval. It is Roma 1, Celtic 3. There are a couple of talking points so far. Of course, the earliest goal of the tournament is confirmed now to be Stifler's. I was midway through explaining that, and Kilzu says, well, there's a couple of goals first that we need to talk about of mine.
It was more of a can you pay attention to me? that was more the signal that was there. But yeah, it's by a shade of a second Stifler has the quickest goal. But again, the story here is the fact that that's the only thing he's had going. There's nothing else coming his way from a Roma perspective, and it's been all Celtic.
Second half underway. Only thing so far to write home about for Roma is that earliest goal, right on the stroke of 1 minute gone. It is 1 in-game second faster than Uzbekistan yesterday. That's the type of margins we're working with. Stifler though, once more to his name. Abraham with a fantastic finish. It's goals galore in this game. The dummy from Abraham beats the entire defence, but still had work to do. Tucks this one away nicely.
Yeah, he needed that, did Stifler. Again, dummy, opens up the space. I think Kilzu even went manual goalkeeper there, still couldn't get Joe Hart across quick enough. And again, it's a really nice finish there from Stifler. Now is that a building block? That needs to be the kind of the, okay, we're back to neutral now, let's get this going. Because we've seen Stifler kind of edge through games and not really kind of scoring volume. This is now going to be the test of whether he can put that to the test here. Can he score in volume? Can he outscore Kilzu? Because at the moment, there's still a goal deficit in this game.
Kyogo turns in the box and is just pressured off of the ball there. You can tell both players, obviously, understandably, disappointed not to be in the final, which will, of course, come after this fourth place match. Maybe playing as if they have a point to prove here. Absolutely no holds barred so far. Advantage Celtic for now, though.
The attendance for this match was 71,649.
Here is Turnbull. Maeda trying to poke it through to Kyogo, who may well rescue this. Mkhitaryan. Stifler starting to build now. Zaniolo through to Abraham. Who can he find, if anyone? Good tackle by Kilsu. Got the ball nice and cleanly, and that might just spring the ball coming the other way now.
Yeah, be careful with these counter-attacks that can be triggered at will. Great ball from Turnbull.
Fantastic ball it was. Who can he find now? Hatate's there. Touch and straight at the keeper. Kyogo keeps it alive. Double touch! Necessary intervention. This one incredibly close, Wes, with a fantastic piece of skill.
Yeah, had to use it as well. We talk about players knowing when to use those skill moves. Perfect time to do it. When players are diving in with tackles in the box, you've got to create the space. And he did well to refashion that chance. He's now got himself a corner.
And palmed away for another corner. What kills you lining up here? Over to Hatate on the edge. Stunning strike. Cannot get through the traffic in front of it. Lovely ball through to Maeda. Takes it down on his chest, and the goalkeeper was needed to be pulled into action there.
You can see that he queued up the strike with Maeda. It just couldn't get it back under his control. And that kind of extra touch just took it into the path of the goalkeeper.
Stifler looks around, bemused at his teammates as to what happened there. Perhaps a dummy that was queued up. It gives the ball over to Celtic, and they've got themselves a free kick here now as well. Time is ticking down in this game. It's been a long one. We've had 5 goals, but only just over 15 in-game minutes remain. And if it stays as it is, Celtic would be moving on with a Game 1 victory in this best of 3. Maeda. Tate is tackled well. It's got to be go time soon here for Roma and Stifler. Tate. What can he conjure up here? The left-footed strike is palmed away. Kept alive though. And finally headed behind for a corner.
Like I said, there's no quarter given in this third, fourth place playoff. We didn't think they'd come out and be cagey. They certainly haven't been. It's been goals, as you said, galore. Again, Kills are doing well to get that back into play. Has now found himself with another set piece. Actually looks like Kyogo's going to make way here.
Parce que je peux me faire baiser, hein. Wesh, 9 tirs à 2, il y a 3-2, frère. Forest. 9 tirs à 2, il y a 3-2, frère. Wesh.
Substitution for Roma.
You heard the Celtic captain there, very animated.
Coming on the field.
Clearly seeing something he's not liked so far. Corner though, now towards Bitton, is palmed away.
Number 92.
Abraham will nick this one away. Jan still has a lot of work to do here, tries to poke it round Juranovic. We're into the final 10 in-game minutes. Roma need a breakthrough. El Shaarawy. Long ball looking for Abraham. That one was dangerous. It was a nice idea. You can see what he was going for, but just a little bit too much power on it.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more out of hope rather than expectation, thinking that they may get on the end of that. Those key substitutes are on now. Ideguchi's on. And look, James Forrest is on as well.
Here is Forrest on this near side. Stunning cross in to make it certain. Once more straight at the goalkeeper. There's been a fair few chances for Celtic in this second half. None of which finding the net. Maitland-Niles trying to poke through Tammy Abraham, but there is still time. El Shaarawy, can he take this down under his spell? He can, but too many bodies
2 added minutes
in the way.
has been indicated.
Maeda's stolen this one.
Yeah, look to
Keep
kill
ball
the game
now
here.
for Kills You.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be Operation Kill the game off, and so it's gone long towards a jetty.
Is there still time for the ball to come forward? The answer is no. Kills You is your victor. Stifler gave it a good go. The fight back was there. But the stats are there for all to see. Kills You with a dominant performance in game 1 here in our 3rd, 4th place playoff. And it all started off, Wes, with, well, a first-minute goal.
Yeah, and it was a very, very quick start from Stifler. But as we've said before, you know, you can score early in eFootball. It doesn't necessarily mean you go on and win the game. You've still got another 89 minutes to go and compete in. And as we saw, Celtic being able to summon those powers of recovery that we've seen so many times. You see Hatate's a wonderful ball into David Turnbull. Great finish and great composure to get that back to level terms.
Yeah, the reverse pass working out well for Kills You. That made it 1-1. And then afterwards we saw Kills You start to ramp up the conversation. This one into the head of Bitton while we were talking about Stifler's first-minute goal. Kills You just reminding us, Wes, that he is the best player of Group A for a reason, as the second of his goals went in. Then a bit of an unforced error from Stifler. Gifted possession back. Seeing this stunning strike from Turnbull find the back of the net. And people at home might be thinking, oh, this one's gone quite close to the keeper. But because of that added power, it just lends itself to being more difficult for the goalkeeper to save.
Yeah, it's the added dip and it's the added power that comes with it. And on the flip side of things, we saw the almost similar movement just without the stunning finish. That was more of a placement from Tammy Abraham. But I think looking on balance, I think Celtic deserves that victory in that game. Whether Roma can now recover and get, force this to a game 3, we'll have to see.
So Celtic relying on the man who got 7 of their 16 points in the group stages to start them off strongly. He's done just that, Semra, with a nice 3-2 win in game number 1.
Kills You, he bows out of the competition this season in some pretty stunning fashion, didn't he? Really brought the heat, having to come back from behind and then not only taking the lead but holding on to it as well. But on top of that, so many clear-cut chances of quality. It really was a tremendous game to get us going for today. 5 goals in that one. We'll see if there'll be as many in game 2 between Celtic and AS Roma. Obviously, Kills You has set up his teammate Lotfi is going to be for this one very nicely to try and get the job done then. Lotfi was the only winner of his game yesterday for Celtic. He was able to take them to a game 3. It was the only match that went to, or I should say only series that went to 3 games yesterday. So we'll see if instead of today, that would be, well, instead of going to a game 3, obviously, if he can win this one, then that means that they will have won and secured 3rd place. Whenever it comes to Roma, well, it's going to be the captain's turn for the Italian outfit. Urma, he is up next. He didn't win yesterday, so he does have a bit of work to do to put in a real captain's performance here to keep AS Roma in this competition. Otherwise, it'll be a repeat of yesterday's results, and that will be it for them.
It will indeed, and we move from the best player in Group A in Kills You to the best player in Group B, which is Urma, going up now against Lotfi. Wes, with Lotfi going into this knowing that Kills You has already done his job in game 1, do you think that's going to be enough for Lotfi to just see this one out, maybe nick a goal or 2 and then sit back? Or do you think we're going to see a similar performance in terms of, hey, Lotfi saying, I have a point to prove, this is my last game in the tournament, let's try and score some nice goals?
Well, I think looking at how their lineups are setting up here, you can see that 4-3-3, that it almost become almost a standard formation for a lot of players. I think looking at the way that Lotfi will probably set up and will probably kind of look to set his stall out here, you'd think that he would want to just get it across the line. As much as you want to be known as somebody who's stylish and who creates moments and creates great goals, instead, in this scenario, you just want to be effective. You just want to get it across the line, get Celtic to 3rd place. If you're Urma, of course, the handbrake might be slightly eased off because you're thinking, well, I've literally got nothing left to lose because my team are 1-0 down in the best of 3. I've got to do something. So the wheels or the handbrake might be slightly off for Irma, whereas with Lotfi, you just want to be effective. You just want to finish the game. So I think you're going to see a very interesting and a very contrasting style of gameplay from the two of these guys.
Well, the game has kicked off, game 2 in this best of 3. And Lotfi starting off very strongly, trying to match the efforts of his adversary Stifler in the previous game we just saw. Kyogo, though, testing the goalkeeper very early on. Of course, thank you to Semra and the team in the studio, but Lotfi is pushing the pace here early on and has won an early corner.
Yeah, well, again, one of the things to think about with this Celtic side, as we've spoken about at length before in terms of, their abilities and their stats and things like that, is that if there is less stamina to go around...
Oh, Bitten's won the header! A clear target man from corners for Celtic FC. Lost all of his markers. And Celtic, they go into the lead.
The end of my point would have been, if there's not a lot of stamina to go around, you've got to start quickly and you've got to get a goal early. And lo and behold, it's a back post header. It's Bitten who seems to be their target. I think he's one of their tallest players within the Celtic lineup. Again, you're going to have to be effective early and then try and potentially kill the game off further down the stretch. The issue, of course, if you look at the players that Roma have in their ranks, obviously from a gameplay standpoint, your Tammy Abrahams, your Mkhitaryan's, those types of players of the world, they've got a bigger energy tank or a bigger stamina tank in them. So they're going to have to be, Lotfi's going to have to be on target pretty much all of the game.
So early goals in both game 1 and now game 2. Lotfi with Maeda has struck the frame. Atate's beaten his man here as well. Tries a second attempt, but that's unsuccessful. Of course, previous winner of this competition is Lotfi. Has a point to prove here. Turnbull dancing around inside and now outside the box. He's won another corner. Just keep your eyes on Bitten here. It's towards him again, and it's his meeting him in the middle of the box once more. This time over the goal.
Yeah, but a point to note here that you really have to wonder is whether the Celtic side have noticed how good Monaco were against Roma yesterday in terms of aerially putting balls over the top and putting that defence under pressure. We're seeing that the goals, minus the corner goal or corner goals that we've seen, it's come from that lack of mobility within the Roma backline. So maybe they have game planned towards this. Granted, they don't have the same sets of players that Monaco do, but they're of similar types of stature. Your Baudu, your Ben Yedder, your Diatta of the world. Very similarly structured players in terms of Maeda, Kyogo, Hatate. So maybe they've noticed that there's that little kind of gap in the armour, as it were.
Of course, if you missed yesterday's action, well, I'll come back to that. It's Turnbull! These players do not want us to make any points on this commentary because Lotfi has doubled his lead. A great ball to Turnbull and a finish to match. He's in command of this game now.
Wheel it back. Where does it come from? It's a ball, as you'll see here. Brilliant ball. Absolutely phenomenal ball. Into the box, chest down, on the volley. Very, very nice finish from David Turnbull. But this is what they clearly must have looked at, because there's no way that they've not looked at the game or the game from Monaco yesterday and gone, right, we're playing Roma today. This is where their weakness lies. And that appears to be where it is. It's that over-the-top ball where the players aren't quite mobile enough to readjust.
So Roma trying to get one back straight away. do not adjust your screens. It is Celtic 2, Roma 0 in game 2. Kyogo bringing the ball forward. Lovely double touch. Did I say 2? I meant 3. Lotfi putting on a magnificent display here, and something tells me from the player reaction we just saw, Wes, he's got a message to all the doubters out there.
Number 8.
He's not happy with you. no. In terms of that skill, it's bait and switch of your attacking options. So if we had obviously a better camera angle than the one from behind the goal, you'd notice that play was developing. It was opening up. There were runners off of Kyogo. Instead, it's a brilliantly mazy run. That if the lanes open up for you, you go for it. Best goal. You can hear it. You can hear what he's after. That's why we chuckle. But you can see it's how the lane opens up. If that is there for you to go for, you have the ability, especially if you time your touches perfectly, you can create moments of magic like that. And as you said pre-game, does Lotfi have a point to prove? Absolutely, by the sounds of it.
Well, I wondered what the message was. I saw the reaction without the audio. I had an inkling it would be something similar. Maeda once again almost breaching that Roma back line that seems to have deflated here in the knockout stages. Teams clearly, as you said, taking Monaco's lead and following that blueprint to break down the Romans. Turn ball, beating Chris Smalling. Kyogo now, can he get the ball across? The Englishman is able to intervene first. Only half an hour gone. Here's the leading goal scorer tables. Mkhitaryan for now, though, feeds Abraham and tries to beat Joe Hart. Mkhitaryan! There is a foothold in this game now for Roma. Bit of fortune maybe, Wes, but sometimes you need that to get into games like this. It's 3-1 now.
Yeah, you can see the manual goalkeeping came out. You can see the Joe Hart dove down at the feet of Abraham. It's then cannoned, for lack of a better term, into Mkhitaryan's path, who's tucked it away. And as we've heard from a lot of these players, at these times of the season, these types of games, you do need the slightest bit of luck, and it gets Roma back into the game. It's just a case of now, how hard do you push? And this is the issue that Irma's going to find himself in. If you push too much too early, you're going to leave gaps behind. And we've seen how good Lotfi is with this Celtic side. So now the issue becomes is, how do you get yourself back to 2 goals and then 3 goals? It's a very hard task, especially against a player like Lotfi, and especially with this Celtic side.
Atate by the corner flag. Just under 10 in-game minutes to go until half-time. Atate. He is weaving around with his fancy footwork. Dummies inside here as well. Beats, well, 1.5 men just then. Irma now on the break. These are 2 fantastic eFootball players going head-to-head here in game 2.
Careful losing the ball that high up the pitch though. So if you're Lotfi, got to be a slightly bit more careful. Maybe get yourself into half time with this 3-1 lead. You can see potentially kicking for touch, to use a rugby parlance, but ball is coming back the other way, and Roma may have the last chance of this half.
That they will. Here is Abraham. Kicked out for a throw in here, but it's in inviting territory for
2 added minutes has been
Roma
indicated.
captain Irma, looking for that reverse pass into Jan. The run was there, the ball lacking a bit of quality. Still time here, 2 minutes added on. And ball up to Abraham. Might still come here for Irma. Abraham, though, dispossessed at the vital moment. And we will enter half-time. Celtic 3-1 up.
Yeah, there's a key challenge right at the end of the half there. If Abraham squirms free, has managed to get a shot off, could trouble the keeper. At the moment, it is all Celtic. And again, we talked a lot about chance creation and having that, having that kind of positive behind you. That's what Celtic have at the moment. They're creating chances at will. And again, I think we, underestimate just how much research goes into these players and, game film, studying other players. The bravado might be like, well, we don't really watch what other teams do. They clearly do, because they found this mechanism to get through the Roma defence, which was kind of brought to kind of the kind of the attention of everybody through that Monaco game yesterday. So they've certainly looked at it and gone, well, this is where we are strong and we can do some damage.
I think Lotfi's having a lot of fun as we kick off the second half with players like Hatate and Kyogo in this Celtic lineup. Fancy footwork, plenty between those two. But one thing you did mention early on in this game, Wes, is that Roma do have the, well, arguably, depending on how they've levelled up these players, the stamina advantage over Celtic. So don't be surprised to see Roma grow into this second half as time goes on.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is as much fun as Lotfi may be having with all of these runs and dummies and all of the other types of skill moves he may be employing, it all saps the stamina. And you'll see them at the bottom of your screen. You'll see certain players, for example, Kyogo, as you just saw it flash up there, less than a quarter of his stamina bar left. So you can tell that his rate is almost coming to an end. It just depends on how Lotfi wants to manage that. It's almost a case of managing your team, let alone the game.
Plenty of drama still to come, no doubt, in this bronze medal match between two great clubs this season. Mkhitaryan trying to backheel it towards Jan in the box. So we're 2/3 of the way through this match now. 60 of the 90 gone, and now it's time for some changes.
Yeah, you can see there Ajeti coming on, taking Kyogo's place. Maeda has been switched out to that role on the right-hand side.
Tu vois la balle, quand tu sens que tu es vraiment sur le point de la perdre, dégage-la loin. Au moins fais-lui perdre de ce temps-là encore en plus. Parce que des fois tu la perds, tu tentes une passe qui est risquée, tu gagnes du temps, tu la dégages. Quand tu sens vraiment que tu vas la perdre, tu la dégages.
It's always fascinating to hear the teams communicate with each other, even when we don't speak the language. It's always fun to read into potentially the hesitancy, some of the nerves, and some of the conversations going on between teammates. We're underway now after those changes, and Abraham is through and just wide of the target with his effort as well. So Hart furious with his defence that no one getting anything on this, but it's a statement of intent from Irma going into the rest of this second half.
Yeah, I don't think Irma realised just how much room he had. There was the additional dummy which you've seen so many times before. He could have just been very easily just have a shot. I mean, I don't think he realised that there wasn't a defender in the immediate vicinity. So a little bit of a chance gone there for Roma.
Starting to build now, as maybe we predicted they would, into this second half. Stamina playing a massive part of this third, fourth place match so far. This is where you're going to lean on the likes of Forest, who have come in off of the bench, of course. Fresh runners, fresh stamina. But as it stands, it is Celtic 3, Roma 1. We're running out of time here for Roma to stage a comeback. Jano almost wrong foots the Celtic keeper. It will be a corner.
Took an outstretched left hand just to keep that out.
It
It looked more like a camera save more than anything else. It looked very, very dramatic for what it was, but it's resulted in a corner.
Maybe just a bit off balance and off guard there from Joe Hart. Take a listen to the players once more as we enter the business end of this game.
No, vabbè, ormai no, ma il problema non è quello, il problema è che
no, non è calcio d'angolo.
Ah, no,
calcio d'angolo.
Number 14. Coming on the field is
Roma corner swung in
number 21.
very quickly following the break. Still alive here as well. You can count the Roman bodies in the box, but the ball eludes all of them. The goal table, as you can see, Nexa leading the way, but Lotfi is now up into the top 3 thanks to his performance in this game. Diawara into the book, and that'll be a frustrating one for Roma.
Yeah, certainly will. Trying to build up some type of momentum to get back into the game. An interesting point to note on Celtic's positioning of their players, although it looks still heavily aggressive, having the 2 DMF positions in there as opposed to 1, it just means they've got 2 players that are more thinking defensively minded than they are going forward. So although they will still drift into attacking positions, they'll be more likely to get back behind the ball, as you can kind of see where I think it might be Sorrow, or Sorrow should I say, who's kind of tucked in there, and Forrest seems to be his outball on the left hand side. It's almost a tactic to try and just keep the ball realistically.
Frustrating Irma is Lotfi at this moment in time. 2 goals is the lead right now as we enter the final 10. Is there a last hurrah for Roma? What if they keep giving the ball away? Jetty as well has won the ball back. You can see Lotfi maybe just a bit hesitant to play that pass to I think it's Maeda, who's been on the pitch a long time. Jetty, though, has 2 players to contend with, but is doing ever so well on that far side. Every moment precious that is ticked by for Celtic.
I think that might be just enough from Celtic, and not that I like to call games beforehand, but it looks like they've very much eked out enough time here just to frustrate, as we said, Irma and this Roma side. There's only 1 minute of stoppage time. I don't think that's going to be enough time to get 2 goals, so I think this may be Celtic's final hurrah, as it were.
It's not the number from the 4th official that Irma and Roma wanted to see, but for Celtic, it is a clean sweep and a step onto the podium of this season's eFootball Championship Pro. They finish in 3rd place. Commiserations to Roma, of course. A top 4 finish for them. But credit to Lotfi and Irma, of course, for the show that they just put on. It all started with a corner in the opening 5 minutes, Wes.
Yeah, you may as well put a big red siren on the top of Bitten's head. That's exactly where the ball goes every time from these Celtic corners that we've seen. But it was this goal, and it was the 3rd goal. That goal, again, exemplified what we saw as that kind of weakness within the Roma backline, which is if the ball goes over the top, their ability to move isn't as great as the rest of the defenders you'll see in this competition. But this goal here, I mean, picking it up from pretty much your own halfway line and just taking it on a mazy dribble, it's a fantastic bit of skill. It's a great finish, as we saw from the celebration that both made us chuckle from Lotfi. He certainly feels that that's the best goal that we'll see today. Of course, we have games to come.
Ça fait un best goal, ça. Fais ça, fais ça, fais ça. Fais.
Best goal, frère. Regarde-moi ce skill.
I can't tell. I think Lotfi wants that to be the best goal.
But it was a wonderful goal. It was a wonderful goal.
A fantastic goal to put Lotfi in commanding control of this game. But as we look over some of the final highlights, Wes, let's just highlight ourselves what a fantastic turnaround this has been for Celtic FC. They'll be disappointed, of course, ultimately to finish in third place. But when you look back last season, they placed 9th. They didn't get even qualified to the knockout stages. They went out, they got a new team, a new set of players, and it's come up trumps for them.
Yeah, and we have to also factor in the changing format, the abilities that they've obviously worked with. You know, we talked about, you know, players and team strengths and even turning into 1v1. They've had a lot of different moving parts that have changed. So I think to have this type of performance in this season has been probably the pick of the performances for me personally.
Absolutely. Honestly, a great season from both clubs, Semra. Roma will be disappointed finishing in 4th, but they should not hang their heads because both clubs put on a real display this season.
That they did, and I said this a couple of weekends ago, I'll say it again. Great Scott! Celtic were absolutely exceptional today. They came to play, they came to win, and that's exactly what they did. It was really impressive stuff from Kilsey in game 1, who historically has been more of a defensive-minded player, but he scored goals aplenty and was very comfortable in doing so today. And on top of that, Lotfi adding 3 more to the pile. Both of them were very much dominant forces in each of their respective games. They were very comfortable in the end, Celtic overall against AS Roma. Was that a bit of a surprise, perhaps?
I thought Roma maybe would have gone a bit more closely with Celtic when you consider these are the 2 group toppers that unfortunately both respectively lost their semi-final. Wes, we were expecting maybe Roma to come out and fire on all cylinders, and I don't feel they did that today.
Yeah, I think after the you know, we looked at game 1 and we saw how quickly Stifler scored. You thought, oh, okay, this will be a game where, you know, Stifler will try and then press on. And instead, for the rest of that first half, it just kind of petered out a little bit and it wasn't the same type of performance. And of course, on the flip side, Kilsey picks up 3 goals in 14 minutes. That's enough to dampen anybody's spirits. So as a result, you kind of saw them get nullified quite quickly. And in terms of game 2, it was all Lotfi. First half and second half, it was all Lotfi. And again, you know, as you saw the effect on the goal table it's had, it's up to 12 goals in the entire tournament. It's a massive performance from him.
Yeah, not a bad return at all. You see Kilsey down there in 7th place as well. 21 goals, I believe that is. I'm not very good at maths, but I think that's 21 goals between the Celtic pair there. So a good return on Celtic's investments this season, Semra. And they finish in 3rd place.
That they do. They're on the podium with a bronze medal hanging around their necks. We saw Lotfi creeping his way into the top 3 of the goal-scoring charts. And obviously we saw him as well during his game saying at least one of them has to be goal of the day for today. We'll see if that turns out to be the case for him. But it's actually his teammate Kilsey, captain of Celtic, who we're going to speak to now to get his thoughts about winning big on such an important day. Where's he with him now? Let's see what he has to say.
Thank you very much, Semra Kilsey. Thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations to Celtic for coming in 3rd place. It wasn't quite the game that you guys wanted to be in. However, you guys certainly showed up today with a lot of goals and a lot of skill, a lot of entertainment. How do you guys feel that your season has gone, considering the change in format that you guys have had?
Yes, I'm very, very happy and very proud of my teammate because we did a very great job with this team. It was very difficult.
After 25 minutes
to do more, and I'm very just proud. We scored a lot of great goals. It was very difficult for us, but I'm happy. And of course, GG's to Roma. I know they train a lot. They are very, very good people. They deserve more. They did first of their group. They're a very strong team. Mm-hmm. And it's like that. We will just see the final and see what will happen.
Yeah, I mean, we had a bit of a chuckle in the commentary box listening to Lotfi after the goal that we just saw, shouting "best goal" at the camera. It certainly was a wonderful goal and a great piece of skill from you guys. In terms of your performances, are there any lessons for you guys to take away from this season?
Yes, I think this season learned us a lot because it's a lot of stress, a lot of difficult moments, and it's really hard to lose when you can win the tournaments. But it's like that. We will see. I think first place is really good for us. We did a very great job. We beat all the team we play against, even Bayern. It's just we lose this time, but we beat them in the group stage. We finished first in the group of death. It was really difficult because Group A was terrible for us. And yes, it's I think it's we are on the good road for next season.
I think given all the variables that you guys have had to deal with this season, I would probably say for me personally, you're personally my pick of team of the season. A big congratulations to you guys finishing third, and Lotfi, as we can see, very smugly waiting to see whether his goal will be goal of the day. But thank you very much for joining us once again.
Thank you.
Back to you, Semra.
Thanks so much. And then there were two. The big moment has finally arrived, the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to crown our champion of this season's eFootball Championship Pro 2022. And it's down to Bayern München and AS Monaco.
Opponent is really good. We are facing one of the best teams in the league. We deserve to be in the final as well as our opponent. We will try our best, of course. Let's go, Bayern!
The final is the only win. The most important is win, and we train a lot since 2 months to will be ready for this match, and we hope to win a new title for AS Monaco. Dage Monaco!
The most important thing is to win, of course, and to take this lovely piece of silverware here next to me home at the end of the day. We'll see who does so in just a few minutes' time, but first, here's a quick look at what's included in the premium club pack when it comes to FC Bayern München. Well, I, for one, am absolutely stoked for this grand finale that we have ahead of us. Yesterday, Wes, he gave us a prediction, a very daring prediction to say that AS Monaco would win it in 3. Let's see if that turns out to be the case. No changing of prediction now, Wes, by the way. Let's see what everyone else at home thinks as well. You can let us know in the comments box. But for now, let's take a look at game 1. Who is going to square off? And it's going to be the captain, it looks like, Jose against Nexa. Now, this is a really fascinating encounter impressive indeed, isn't it? Because we're talking about two heavy hitters here. Jose had a tremendous day yesterday, winning both of his games, and we saw very clearly that he's very driven to success. When it comes to Nexa, we've been waxing lyrical about him for weeks now. He's been one of the star performers of the seasons. He's been scoring goals for fun. He scored 6 yesterday, which launched him, catapulted him to the top of the goal scoring charts, as we saw 15 so far. On top of that, he also won both of his games yesterday. So we're talking about two of the most informed players at the moment. Perhaps this is a very evenly poised match between these two. Very difficult one to call, that's for sure.
Yeah, difficult indeed, because not only is it for all the marbles, so you have that tension and that pressure to put on these players as well, we're also seeing these two who were in the same group switch up their starting lineups. In fact, it's only Bayern who have kind of twisted instead of sticking. Nexa still starts for Monaco as they did in the group stages, but instead of Alex Alguacil going out first now, Wes, we have the captain, Jose. That's going to be a completely different test here for Nexa, who beat Alex in the group stages.
Yeah, it is. And we've been talking about Nexa at length in terms of his ability to score goals, his ability to tear open defences. The tactic from Bayern certainly looks at the moment to be, let's try and blunt that attack. And we spoke a little bit yesterday about, jokingly calling Jose the spoiler. He stopped a free scoring Barcelona. He very much stopped a free scoring Celtic. Now you've got to stop essentially the hottest player in the competition, which is Nexa. He's got 15 goals in the competition. You don't get those by accident, folks. And this has got every single making of an absolute classic.
That it does. Thank you very much to Semra and the team in the studio. Thank you all for joining us on this journey the past few weeks. It's all been leading up to this point. We are moments away from kicking off the eFootball Championship Pro 2022 Grand Finals. It is Captain Jose of Bayern München against leading goal scorer this season, Nexa. And we're underway. Strap yourselves in. This one could be a difficult one to keep track of. We have Jose attacking from right to left in the Bayern home strip, and Monaco in their changed outfits here. Nexa starting off the game strongly. Golovin looking for Boadu. He's been so dangerous up top for the Monegasque club. And Ben Yedder has found a lot of space here, but the manual goalkeeping from Jose is enough to prevent the first chance of these finals, resulting in a goal here for Monaco. All down the line towards Serge Gnabry. Just enjoying the entertainment in front of our very eyes as the two players go through this feeling out process. Of course, so much on the line here for both of these squads. It would be a first eFootball Championship Pro title for both Nexa and Guifera. For Bayern, they're chasing their second after narrowly missing out last season in a place in the knockout stages. And this season, they almost didn't make it as well, relying on a Mestre result against the very team they face here in this Grand Finals.
I think if you're Bayern, you've got to be careful of the over-the-top ball.
Golovin just miscues his opportunity, and if you're Nexa here, Wes, do you feel the longer this game goes on without a breakthrough, considering you've had no trouble scoring so far this season, do you start to doubt yourself? Does the occasion maybe start to get to you, to this young man?
we haven't seen signs of Nexa being under kind of extreme pressure, shall we say? Because again, if you've got the likes of Guifera and Uzmakabeel in your corner pumping you up, every time that something may not go your way, he hasn't really met any resistance yet, in terms of the games that he's played. So I think if you can put an element of doubt in his head very early on, then that might have a telling factor down the stretch. The issue, of course, becomes is that you have to almost lay a glove on him first before you put that doubt in him. And at the moment, it seems, obviously, given the occasion and given everything that's going on, it's a very cagey affair.
Now, there was a rash challenge in there by Sane. I wouldn't be surprised to see the referee call that one back for a reprimand, perhaps. But both players here just seem to be just sprinkling in a few unforced errors, a sign perhaps that the occasion is bringing with it added nerves. Half an hour gone. Bayern 0, Monaco 0. A reminder, this is a best of 3 games. Don't worry about aggregate score. You just have to win 2 of the 3 to be crowned champion here. First real chance for Jose is denied by Maripan. And Nexa now can start to bring the ball forward. And the ball looking for Boadu was so effective, of course, against Roma in the semi-finals. Not surprising to see Monaco try and employ the same tactics here that got them to this stage. Lots of green grass ahead of Sabitzer to run into. Kingsley Coman. Crowd just waiting to see who he can find. It's Serge Gnabry. Can he find his way through? He can! Biggest chance of the final so far. And it's resulting in a corner. Bit of a mix-up at the back, but the goalkeeper well alert. Corner swung in towards Sula, just over his head. As we're just under now 5 minutes to go until half-time. Still goalless here.
Yeah, as you kind of said earlier, when we're kind of drinking this in, and we're almost watching it as fans, let alone commentators, because we've seen so many duels again and again from these types of players that they're fascinating to watch. And at the moment, it's very much equal as you go. There's no real outstanding chance that there's been outside of one shot in anger, and I suppose that is a testament to the occasion. It is the grand final. You've got to set your stall up. But we saw this type of performance from Jose yesterday against the Palma. We saw it be nullified.
Oh, long ball to Boadu. This could be a real chance here for Monaco. Just let it run a little bit too far. It will be a corner, but we're starting to see this first half ramp up the gears. Moments before the interval. Chances coming few and far between for the leading goal scorer. The corner unsuccessful.
There will be 1 minute added time.
Monaco retained possession for the last attack of the half. Stolen away, though, by Gnabry, and I think that will be the last action we will see. Monaco 0, Bayern 0 at the half. A very nervous affair. Not a lot of chances. Both players know exactly what's at stake here in this grand final.
Yeah, and that's the point here, is that they know what's on the line. And that's when we talked about, or when you spoke about intangibles, that's one of them. It's how much this means to both teams and both sets of players. Like you said, this would be Nexa's first title within eFootball in a debutant season for Monaco, whereas with Jose, they're looking, Jose and Bayern, they're looking for number 2. So it means equal things to both teams, but just different factors. And you can tell by the stats, as you can see there, it's very, very cagey. Very, very cagey. There's going to be, I would say there's going to be at least another chance or two either side or either end. I don't think it's going to be a goal fest. I think it's just going to be cagey.
De bien défendre d'abord, avant tout bien défendre, c'est tout.
Lots of words of advice and encouragement on the Monaco side for their youngster. Nexa has done well up to this point. His Monaco teammates need him to keep it going though. We kick off the second half, and it's worth noting this is the third consecutive final for AS Monaco, with Ousmane Kabir featuring in all three out of those three though. One win, one loss. We'll see what story will be written here. Jose coming forward with Sane, chance for a stunning cross, and that is the first goal! First goal of the final, but for an offside flag, cuts the celebrations short. That was so close, but it is ruled out.
Oh, it's a kneecap. It's a kneecap if that was offside, but by the rules of the game, he's offside, and a huge sigh of relief for Monaco, but that will be a warning sign. And I think, again, if we're talking stats, I believe that this is the longest that Nexa has gone without scoring a goal within a game of eFootball. So again, he will know the task that is up against him, whereas Jose, take a bit of confidence from that. He knows he can break him down. If he can get free with Leroy Sané, maybe try and do that again, because again, if you can get across your front man, Goretzka or Lewandowski might be there to pop it home.
Just warning signs then. This final now starting to ramp up in excitement. Sane to Kingsley Coman, double touch into Gnabry, but no way through. Where's the break here though for Monaco? Ben Yedder, reverse ball. Nexa has 3, now 4 men in the box to aim for. Has to beat Sabitzer first though. Defending to do for Bayern. You can see how many bodies they have behind the ball, but it's Golovin with the strike. Corner to Monaco now.
Yeah, really testing Jose's defensive awareness there of what way is he turning, which way is he going, and when's he going to shoot. And Nexa testing him all the way. It took Ulrich to keep it out. It is a corner though. We know how proficient these are from both sets of players. We've seen Soulé be aimed at. We've seen it's normally Boadu potentially that this might be aimed at. We'll see.
It's like Marcellanic's the target, but cleared away. This is a great one for the neutral. Nexa playing the ball all the way back. We've had real gilt-edged chances for both sets of players. One of the more exciting 0-0s we've seen so far.
Yeah, interesting point to note. Just on when that ball went back to Monaco, you saw the retreat of Bayern players back into their own half. You can see that there's very much a respect level there from both players in terms of they understand the threats that both of them possess, and that's why it's become this almost chess game, and we're waiting on an error or a piece of skill. It tends to be in these very tight games of eFootball, that's what you're waiting on. You're either looking for some individual piece of brilliance or you're looking for an unforced error, and I think we're going to probably see the former rather than the latter. At least I'd hope. I'd love to see a bit of individual skill that decides this game.
Just over 20 minutes left. This one will go to extra time and penalties if they are required. But a free corner here for Monaco. Can't afford to give too many of those away, and instantly We've moved towards the subs bench for Bayern.
Está muy bien, hazme caso. Confía. Confía en los minutos, en los momentos finales, esos últimos metros. Estás haciéndolo muy bien. Esa última decisión.
Pero esa confianza, que estoy aquí a partido, hay que decidir ahora mismo.
It's a real family, that Bayern team. Jose, Mestre, Alex, and of course Coach Bulletti in the back. Always supporting each other. The same, of course, can be said for AS Monaco, who have the corner here. Back post towards Buadu. But Meccano called into action. This has been a good spell, it has to be said, for Nexa. The last 10 or so in-game minutes have been promising for him, and that will be a worry here for Jose.
Yeah, it will. As confidence grows within players, it can cause a lot of issues for you if you're the defending party, because you almost get that sense of almost inevitability that they will get a chance, and it's all about whether Nexa can convert that chance. If that does come down to it, again, we've seen how many goals he scored. We've seen the manual goalkeeping of Jose, though. It might not even come down to whether he can convert. It's whether Jose can keep him out.
Buadu wins the header, knocks it down, and this is danger here for Bayern. Ben Yedder beats his first man. Can he get his strike away? Might still come here for Buadu. No way through. And there are enough Bayern bodies to just extinguish the flames for now. But the fire might still grow. Approaching the final 10, there seems to be no outs here whatsoever for Jose. Nexa is putting this defence to an absolute siege. Ben Yedder. Near side now for Nexa. Who can he find? The first goal of the final! Number 16 of the season for Nexa. Buadu again. It took a while, but it was coming. And Monaco lead with 10 to go.
Advantage Monaco. And again, it was the key pass that was before that where you saw the issue. You had two Bayern defenders that went for the same ball, both of which took a leg out. Instead, it presented the opportunity to Nexa to get the ball across the box, and it's swept in. It's a great finish, but now it's again, as we said about this defensive mentality, you've got to now go again. And is there enough time for Bayern to be able to close this out? You can see what it means to Nexa, and you can see the pressure the young man's under.
Au pire, dis attaquant, quand tu cavales sur le côté, moi c'est juste, c'est à ton bon vouloir. Si soit tu veux rester avec lui, t'es fort avec lui.
Ouais, je pense.
T'es sûr, hein?
Comment je peux faire?
Pas de regret, hein?
Cambiar.
Allez, moi, je le laisse, voilà.
Oh, je fais pas la deuxième
Ouais, moi je dirais, c'est...
Fais pas la porte. Ah, regarde bien, c'est bon là?
Vamos, José, vamos. No pienses en el resultado, confía. Tiempo y por ella, va.
Substitution.
We resume after the goal, a goal that could mean Monaco will take a one-game advantage in this best of three. 16 on the season, his debut season for AS Monaco. This game is not over yet though. Sabitza's in behind. Is there anyone to be found though? Nexa does so well to regain control. Ball towards Lewandowski, cleared away, 5 to go now. Nexa head and shoulders above the rest. Lewandowski turns. Is there a strike to be found? Crucial save. And Nexa survives.
That's a big chance. again, flashing the opportunity. Lewandowski gets the shot off. It's cleared away. Nuba will stick his thumb up in appreciation for his defence for trying to stop that coming through to him. It is a Bayern corner though. And we are deep into the final pieces of this game. I think it's 4 minutes plus a little bit of stoppage time. It's a little bit now or never if you're Bayern.
Finally, the corner swung in towards Schüller at the near post. Keep your eyes on that clock. Bayern need a goal to force extra time.
There will be 3 minutes added time.
Davies, starting cross. Is anyone there? Goretzka arriving. Corner. In stoppage time, there is still time.
Again, chance, a half chance there. It's more a case of Jose took that shot to fashion the opportunity at the corner. It's one big opportunity now left in the game, because I think once this ball gets cleared, I think Monaco will try and kill this.
There has to be an end product from this corner. You see Jose switching and switching until he sees what he wants. Swung in. Goalkeeper comes. Cleared by Monaco. And it's booted as far up the pitch. And of course the goalkeeper came up for the corner. So this one now is certainly in the bag for Monaco. As soon as Volland is dispossessed, I think the referee is going to put an end to game one. And there it is. The standout performer for Monaco in his first season wins 1-0 in game number 1 and puts Monaco on championship points.
Venga, que somos tres.
There weren't many highlights, Wes, to go over, but the important thing for Monaco, game 1 goes their way.
Yeah, it was like we said. It was an old-fashioned chess match. It was, like we said, going to either be decided by a mistake or by a piece of skill. I think there's a little bit of an error, as we might see in the extended highlight of the goal. So see, Baldo just couldn't quite get onto that ball. Forced the save though, and again, we you know, in terms of the word that I'd use, maturity. The maturity on Nexa for being such a youngster and a prodigy. I think we can stop calling him a prodigy from now on, because to be quite honest, he's certainly proved everything here. 16 goals, now a victory in the final, has not had a game where he's not scored. Everything. You'll see here, just where it goes here. Ben Yedder and it's Sule and Upamecano both try and block the same pass. They don't quite realise where the ball's going, and by the time they've realised, it's far too late, and it's slung into the box and it's swept away by that man again, Baldo. And you can see how much it meant to Nexa. It's borderline emotional. I think I was looking at him, he was very much trying to keep his composure, but the young man didn't need to keep his composure because it's that maturity that was there. But fantastic performance from him, gives his team a platform.
Exactly what Monaco were hoping for from game number 1. Nexa, the leading goal scorer in the competition now, Semra, 16 goals, the most important of which has come in that game 1.
A dream start for Monaco and a dream game for Nexa. As you say, he's extending his legendary status in the eFootball Championship Pro this season. He's been tremendous, not just today, but all the way throughout the tournament, and he sets them up perfectly for now what could be the ultimate deciding game into whether AS Monaco make it a second victory for them, a second piece of silverware that they can add to the glass cabinets or not. Having said that, let's see who's going to feature, because I imagine the approach and strategy behind determining who will square off against one another will play a very important role in this one. And it's going to be Mestre up against Uzbekistan. Mestre, you may remember yesterday, he had a victory in the quarterfinals, but he lost in the semi-finals. So he does have a bit of a shift to put in for today to make sure that he can keep the Germans in this and extend it to 3 games if they are to stand a chance. But whenever it comes to his makeable, it's probably the worst player you want to go up against at this stage. Someone who's taken AS Monaco as captain 3 times to the final. No one does it better than him. If anyone can get them across the line, it will be him. This is a fascinating encounter, and it could all be decided and wrapped up right here. How do you think it's going to play out, though? Do you think Mestre can keep this makeable at bay?
If there's a man to do it, it's the man that got them to this stage. Of course, you remember Mestre was tasked with going up against, I think it was Guifera in the group stages. He needed to win that match. He did so 2-1. So without Mestre, Bayern, they don't even feature in the knockout stages. But for his Maccabeal, 3-time world champion, sure, but he's lost the last 2 finals in this competition. It now is within his own hands to rewrite the history books, Wes, and put himself back on the very top step of that podium.
You're only as good as your last game. You know, history will not remember those defeats if it now comes through that as Maccabeal turns over Mestre and seals the victory for Monaco. But as you quite rightly said, the firepower that is within Mestre and the ability, again, as we said, in key moments, he has came up trumps time and time again for this Bayern Munich side. This is intriguing, it's fascinating, it's any other adjective you want to find for this game. It's a must-watch.
It's a must-watch and a must-win for Bayern. Thank you, of course, to Semra and the team in the studio, as always. The players just getting ready for kickoff. But I do wonder, Wes, we've highlighted, of course, throughout the knockout stages, since that semi-final yesterday with Roma, the game plan for Monaco has been long balls over the top to Bawadu. They've recognised his pace. They've recognised perhaps some of the slower defensive options for other clubs in this competition. Didn't seem to be the case in game 1. Do you think that's thanks to Jose defending well, or because of maybe some of the improved defensive options that Bayern bring to this competition?
I think if you look at their defensive options, as we see through the back line, you have Alphonso Davies, who is a well-known speedster. You've got Lucas Hernandez, who isn't a slouch. He's not the slowest of defenders. You've got Nicolas Soule, who is a towering imposing figure, and you've got Upamecano, who blends that pace and strength. So again, I think there's a different type of game plan that you've got to employ against Monaco. Against Bayern Munich, in the sense of you try and push it down the wings a little bit and try and expose that kind of fragility that may exist there. But if you're Mestre, there's things to aim at, certainly, in this Monaco side.
Starting off strongly is Mestre, a enticing ball in the 2nd minute. Signals his intent to his Maccabeal. If you're just joining us, welcome. We have just kicked off game 2 of the eFootball Championship Pro Grand Finals. The draw, group stages, all of the knockout games prior to this, done and dusted in the past. The only result that matters so far in this final is at the top of your screen. Monaco lead the series 1-0. If they win this one, they'll be champions! And they're well on their way now. Who's Maccabeal in the 6th minute? Puts Monaco, who are already on championship points, one step away from a 2nd title.
He said it himself in many of the interviews we've had with him. You need a little bit of luck, and I think that little kind of, oh, we scored, was from that. The pass goes in from Baldi. You'll see it takes a deflection from Alphonso Davies. It's just clipped off of him, but Volland's there to steal it and to tuck it away. So you'll see here this little, who knew that could happen? Again, he won't care. It's a goal up. 6 minutes gone, I think. Now Mestre has got to, as we said, earlier on, got to mentally reset.
Pass to steady himself here. Goal number 11 for the 3-time world champion. A lot of eFootball to be played here in game 2. Bayern with a set-piece opportunity Plenty of options here. Could go for goal and will do, somewhat disappointingly. We're still in the opening 10 minutes. Not the best start for Mestre, but he needs a result out of this. Bayern need a result to continue this grand final. Serge Gnabry beats the first man, but the ball just trickles agonisingly out of play.
You can see the idea was get the ball into the box and again just run out of real estate to get that ball in there. But again, once, you know, in terms of confidence players, there's none bigger than Maccabeal. Once he's got that bit between his teeth, he won't want to let it go.
He's coming forward here with Ben Yedder. Somewhat of an optimistic strike, but that is maybe a signal that Maccabeal is feeling relaxed in this final. Not be too relaxed though, as Serge Gnabry's coming forward. Goretzka with a good turn. Lewandowski, Coman, Gnabry, that's well built so far. Lewandowski cannot be found. But a corner. Mick to swing it in, it's Sule the target, but Marapan is equal to both the size of Sule and also the delivery as well. The ball to Coman! Game on! We are all level here. Bayern, they find the equaliser through Mestre. Through Coman, it's 1-1.
That is a huge goal. A huge goal in the grand scheme of this tie. You can see the little bit of swerve that took it away from the goalkeeper. It was a nasty finish, as in it took a little bit of deflection there, but that strike just swerved away from Nubel. And game on once again. This tie will keep turning and twisting until we have a victor.
(1-1) in game 2. A reminder, this is a best of 3, so we need a winner. Corner to Monaco, but if it stays as things are, we will go to extra time. If we're still level after that, penalty shootout. Corner cleared. That ball far up the pitch here allows the Bayern defence to maybe just creep up, and Maccabeal, not liking what he's seeing, is just going to let that one run and essentially reset the pitch here with a goal kick.
Yeah, you can see now that he's just settling into a bit of a rhythm again.
Radu. There's a couple of options, and one of them is Golovin! Back in front! Are the team on championship point now? AS Monaco back in front, 2-1.
Yeah, it's a fantastic finish. And again, we talk about having, you know, you only can mark one player. So as this ball comes into Baldo here, you'll see Golovin makes that run down the left. You can see Volland made the run down the right. Who'd you pick? Who'd you take away from the game? Instead, you'll see that just opens up that little body feint to just take it to one side, allows Golovin the space. And again, we're back amongst it with us, Maccabeal. Again, he shakes his head, but I would imagine internally he's very happy to be back in the lead.
Very happy indeed. Goal number 12, and could be 13 shortly afterwards here with Boadu. The strike finds the back of the net. Back-to-back goals for AS Monaco. I mean, what do you say, Wes? It's a 1-2 punch.
That's a misery compiler to end all misery compilers. Again, really nice through ball from Ben Yedder. Baldo, again, if you're unsure, for those viewers and fans at home, you just hit it. You hit it as hard as you can. Keep it low. Keep it down to the ground. You'll see that Bodo gets 3 of his defender. And you just hit it. You just hit it, and it's very much hoping that it goes in. But if you're Uzmakabil, you're not going to mind that you're 3-1 up. I think that also, if my memory serves me right, puts him on 12 goals for the tournament, which means that he's certainly pushing that upper bracket of the top 3. Oh no, it's 13 as the stats will correct me. So he's certainly pushing himself up in the goal tally.
Oh, Mestre has to be careful here because this could get ugly very quickly. Boadu is so strong and quick and powerful. And all of a sudden, Nex is looking over his shoulder. It is a scary thing, a knockout stage Uzmakabil. Cannot afford to lose your head here. For the sake of Bayern München, Mestre. Still in the first half of this game too. 10 minutes to go till half-time, but another goal either way could completely swing this match. And they're coming forward here. Coleman's through. Gnabry is there as well. And there it is. Like a pendulum back and forth. This game too. It's 3-2, Bayern. They're back within 1.
Yeah, it's a great finish, and again, it's an answer. It's an answer to a question of, are Bayern going to go quietly into tonight? The answer's no. They will find the extra pass and they'll slot it in. As you see Serge Gnabry just finding the bottom corner. Again, an element of doubt that can creep in here. Not that Uzmakabil is short of confidence, but certainly has something to think on.
It's a goal to give that belief. Defending to do first before celebrations can really settle in. We are still in the first half of this game too. There may be more goals to come as Ben Yedder stepping, dragging the ball back, but Mestre with 2 goals on the score sheet already. Just gives that belief now to Bayern. He is their man to rely on. As we mentioned before the match, the man to get them to this stage, he needed to win in the final game of the group stages to qualify Bayern for the knockouts. He did so against this very team.
Yeah, the only difference maker in it is that it was against Guifera. Of course, Uzmakabil is a very different beast to take care of, for lack of a better analogy. But again, Monaco 3-2. This is on a knife edge right now.
Oh, I think beast is the perfect word to sum up Uzmakabil. 3-time world champion with 3 goals.
Y eso no lo consigue cualquiera. Hay que confiar en eso. Vamos, vamos, bicho.
The words of Alex Alguacil is very much, let's go. Let's go and get this. Still within our own hands. Boadu through though here for Monaco, through 1-on-1, and smartly out is Ulrich. Bayern cannot afford too many more of those gaps to Uzmakabil. Sane, lovely turn behind. Who's going to win this engagement? Gnabry back heel to Coman. Is there a strike to be found? All still alive here for Bayern. Sane. Still alive, but takes it one step too far.
It just ran out of room. You could see the dummies and the feints and the super cancels and every other bit there. And you can see there was a little bit of frustration from Usman that he just couldn't get that ball clear. You're noticing a little bit as well from Bayern starting to push the defensive line up a little bit. So you see they're trying to sustain this pressure that they've built here.
Adiashile quickly across for Uzmakabil, read the situation well, but the problem is you do have Buadu always running in behind. It's an outlet for Uzmakabil. That one will trickle out of play. We're approaching the hour mark, which should bring with it some changes. For now, this has been a very open game number 2. Goretzka for Bayern. Shepherded away by Fofana. Buadu again, focal point of this attack. That one behind all of the Monaco teammates. It is so tense in this final. Lewandowski inside to Gnabry, turns, there's a real chance here for Gnabry! The equaliser that Bayern needed! It's come after the hour mark! 6 goals in game 3! These two cannot be separated!
After 65 minutes.
What do you say, Wes? What do you say?
Just when you think it's all over, up steps Mestre. Finds a little bit of skill on the edge of the box here. You see the ball clipped in, sees it to Lewandowski. Nice little dummy, takes a brilliant turn from Serge Gnabry, takes the defender all the way out of the game, probably sends him across to the shops whilst he's there, and then finds a brilliant finish into the top right-hand corner. It's 3-3. 3-3, which is a, you know, if you're a Bayern fan, you might just think there might be a bit of confidence there to go, hang on a minute, we might be able to get something out of this game.
Je peux pas jouer, wesh. Je peux pas jouer.
Following the goal, the changes. And Uzmakabil, you saw his reaction there. Has already lost 2 finals in this competition in seasons past. Let's take a listen.
Ya sabes, hasta que no defienda el kickover, usted cuando cuenta, ¿eh? Vamos, ¿eh? Vamos.
Cuidado con la presión que te está metiendo Círculos últimamente, vamos.
I think maybe that reaction from Uzmakabil following that goal, after being 3-1 up, maybe just sensing that another final might be slipping away. Still lots of time left.
Substitution in progress.
How's your nerve, Bayern? How's your nerve, Monaco? What have you got left in the tank from an emotional standpoint, let alone a gameplay standpoint? The emotions that these guys must be going through. If you're Uzma, you're probably sat there in disbelief the fact that you're at 3-3. And if you're Mestre, your nerves and your adrenaline must be going through the roof, because you're like, I'm within a fingertip here of potentially taking this game.
Still going with Gnabry. It will go all the way through to Muller. Lewandowski! Snapshot, still alive. Anyone arriving? Coman! I do not believe it! The man who was tasked with the great escape in the group stages has performed a great escape so far. In game number 2, from 3-1 down, is now 4-3 in the lead.
A wise man once said, don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years, and Mestre, summoning all powers of recovery, all powers of experience, managed to just dink it off the post. Now, some of you guys at home may look at that and go, well, that's just luck. And to be fair, in some regards, it actually is. But again, if you were to take a normal shot, that's probably hitting the side net. If it's a chip shot, however, you increase your chances of potentially hitting the post. And again, it was a complete scramble in the box, and all of a sudden, Bayern Munich, and Mestre even creeping up the goal tally as well. We completely forgot to take that into account.
That we did, because the task ahead of him was so mammoth. We just didn't expect it to be possible. He's going for more here with Müller, and he's been tackled in the box fairly, says the referee. One behind. Nexa now. Özmakabil, 4-3 down. Finds Ben Yedder! What is going on? Özma is back in the game. 8 goals in the grand finals.
The goal scorer
In
for
game number
Monaco
2, and it is all square now once more.
minutes is
This is what happens at this level of eFootball. Nobody is out until that final whistle has been blown. It's great work from Özmakabil. Again, fashions the opportunity, gets the ball in low, realises that the low block with Bayern is not as good as its aerial block, and instead finds the ball into his captain and arguably, as we've heard, his favourite player, Wissam Ben Yedder. 4-4 with roughly 10 minutes to go. This game, as we said, has turned into an absolute classic.
El feeling que tú tengas con él, si te gusta, para moverlo.
Voy a aguantar.
Fresca te da eso, idas y venidas, te da un par de carreras más.
substitution is taking
Rocky
place.
Balboa. I didn't hear no bell. 10 in-game minutes to go. Don't forget, Monaco will be crowned champions if they come away with a victory here in game 2. Bayern fighting for survival in the grand finals. Goretzka beats his man. Can he beat a second? Warner. No doubt towards Schüller. Goretzka dispossessed, and with 5 in-game minutes to go, is this the break? Dealt with by Bayern. Every single attack and every single defense has to be perfect now. Who will provide us with the defining moment of this season?
There will be 3 minutes at a time.
Ben Yedder into stoppage time now. Diatta, Bawanu! That might just be the goal to crown AS Monaco as our champions this season.
The goal scorer for Monaco.
A roller coaster of emotions.
After 90 minutes is
that ends potentially in
Number 9.
jubilation. 5-4.
You called it on, Harry. Is that there was no bell. It didn't matter to Özmakabil. This game wasn't over until he said it was over. Wonderful finish. You can see. You can see almost. Is that good enough? Is that all right for you? Like that seems to be the vibe that we get from Özmakabil every single time. It takes the wind out of the sails once more for Bayern. You can see the body language from Mestre sapped every piece of emotion out of him. Özmakabil still laser focused on this game. There is still time on the clock. There is still time on the clock for this game to be affected. As long as that whistle has not gone, the ball is still live and the job is not finished.
substitution on the field. Number 8. Leon
Monaco,
Goretzka.
2 in-game minutes away
Coming on the field
from
is
championship glory. Bayern
Number 18.
need to score from this attack to keep us going. Gnabry lets it run out of play. It's a goal kick, and I think with this resumption of play, as Özmakabil is taking his time here, the referee will blow his whistle and make things official.
just see the body language from him. He's just waiting to kick that ball.
It's kicked up the pitch. It's won by Bayern, but the referee has seen enough. AS Monaco are your eFootball Championship Pro champions. Absolute jubilation. They are champions again. Commiserations to Mestre, Jose, Alex Alguacil. They couldn't make it a second title. But what a way to end the season. Both players just leaving all of it out there. But we have our champion. It is AS Monaco. And it's another title, Wes.
Yeah, it's to add to the collection. I joked off air that, you know, Usman Bale collecting, you know, trophies and titles and accolades like he's Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. It just seems to go on and on. And again, the emergence of Nexa, you know, that cannot be underwritten or understated even more so. He's been superb throughout this tournament. Guifera had his part to play, has had goals, has had moments where he could affect the game, but all credit to Monaco. Commiserations to Bayern. They made that final probably one of the most entertaining things I've ever witnessed on an eFootball pitch.
Absolutely incredible action. Of course, we'll be hearing from the champions very soon, but we have to give great credit on the other side to Bayern München. They took us all the way. Semra looked like they were going to bow out in group stages, but they made it all the way to the final. But AS Monaco are the champions.
Oh my goodness, you guys. My nerves are so frayed after watching that game. That was epic. I know you couldn't see me or hear me, but every single time a goal win, we were jumping and shouting and screaming with so much excitement, even though we're on neutral ground, because that was exactly the kind of game that you want to see in a final. And it was brilliant stuff. High-octane entertainment, so many goals, a flurry of goals, comebacks, Mestre coming back from behind twice, very nearly getting there. And you have to say, massive credit to him as well for sticking into that game. But Usman Bale, what stuff of a legend in that. That was just so much fun. And I think going out on a high like that, you really couldn't ask for a better way to finish off the season. So again, congratulations to AS Monaco. And I think now, actually, Wes, you'll be able to speak to the main man himself, the captain. We've caught up with him earlier today, or actually we'll see what he has to say, because I can only imagine he's going to be even happier than he was just a couple of hours ago after picking up the Best Goal of the Day award yesterday, Wes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Semra. As you can see, Usman Bale kind of summing up that team mentality by just dragging all teammates into this shot. You can see how much it means to Nexa. Usman Bale, a massive congratulations to you and the team. First and foremost, how does it feel to be champions?
It's very difficult. We are happy. First time I would say GG to Bayern München. Very, very crazy team. They have the very good roster, and we are champion. We are Monaco. 3 titles. We are the best. And Nexa the monster. The MVP. MVP. This guy is MVP.
I think.
And the Guifera too. It's Monaco guy. We win. Alhamdulillah.
Well, I was going to say, we can stop calling Nexa a prodigy now, right? Because his performances have been short of probably the greatest debut season that we've seen in eFootball. You know, in terms of his abilities and his contributions, he's been so vital to the team. And obviously, your kind of almost return to form. You know, again, how important was it for you to just keep that winning mentality going, especially in that game against Mestre, being 4-3 down, getting yourself back into a position? How important was it to keep your head?
I know Mestre is one of the best players in Europe. I know him. I know he have a very strong level, and it's so difficult. And when I won, I was 3-1. I know it's difficult because he have a real good attack. He's really good in attack. And after 4-3 for him, and I need luck. Like I say, from the start of competition, I need luck, and we win. And my friend Nexa, in the first match against Jose is really, for me, the best player in a close game. in close game, 1-0, 1-1. Jose is the best. For me, is the best player. And the Nexa, he did it.
Yeah, he just couldn't. He couldn't keep Nexa out in the end, and that really set the platform for you and the team. Again, talking about your performance, you know, to be able to, you know, the almost nonchalant celebration of going, is that enough goals? When you scored the 5th one, is that enough? Was that the vibe that we got? Is that enough?
For me, it's offside.
Oh, was for you, it's offside.
For me, it's totally no goal. For me, it's offside. I will just say focus. That's why I never celebrate for only 1 goal. But I need to focus always. It's like this. It's big tournament. It's like this. We are happy.
Yeah.
We are Monaco. And we are champion for 3-time champion. Like me, 3-time world champion. No, 3-time football champion.
Yeah, you seem to do it wherever you land, Uzbekabel. You seem to do it wherever you go. A massive congratulations to you and the team. Of course, a massive congratulations to Nexa, Guifera, ID Kun, the kind of the brains behind the outfit and the background. I'm sure you guys will have a very interesting party tonight.
Thank you to all.
Fantastic. Sarah, back to you.
Brilliant stuff. Just love seeing those celebrations and just the emotion in the moment. It really is so spectacular and well deserved in the end. So another congratulations to AS Monaco, and I'm sure we'll continue to talk about their efforts and how well they did over the last few weeks. But guys, let's take a look at the competition in its entirety. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's roll back the clock. Let's go from start to finish across the last 3 weeks, because it's been quite intense. A lot has happened. But whenever time marches on and we look back on the 2022 season, what are some of the main things that you think will stick out in all of our minds, that we'll remember from this campaign?
Well, I think obviously we have a bit of recency bias going on, but that final 5-4 victory for Monaco. I mean, listen, there were a lot of questions asked about the club this season, having lost Lotfi, having lost Kilzu, who were a big spine of that team for the last few years, whereas they went out, they got Nexa, they got Guifera, and it was the winning formula once more for Uzbekabel.
Yeah, they tooled up. I remember way back when we had the draw show, where we were running through the teams and we were talking about acquisitions, and I think even at that point I'd labelled Nexa as a real X factor, that we weren't quite sure what we were going to get out of him. And you got goals, you got commitment, you got every piece of skill that you could ask for. And again, I think the moral of this story, through the group stage, through the knockouts, through every game that we saw, is it ain't over till it's over. You know, until you have got that final whistle done, the game is not finished. You heard from Uzbekabel there, it was focus, regardless of when he'd scored. That's the story. A game is you're never out of a game until it's done. And I think, you know, as we talked about recency bias, I think we look to Nexa as probably the story of the tournament for me personally.
Definitely. You can see Monaco, they're winning all of their knockout stage games, by the way, in straight games. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 against every single club they faced. We can see now how the lay of the land is in the final table of the top scorers. Nexa sits just 1 goal ahead of his teammate Uzbekabel and his final adversary, Bayern München's Mestre Wes. Nexa, what a first season in eFootball Championship Pro. That one's going to go down in history, surely?
Yeah, it has to. I think it has to go down. I know we have waxed lyrical about Kilzu's debut season. I think this eclipses that, both for you know, kind of contributions to the team, for results when you absolutely need it, and for performances when you need it. Not to mention the fact that we're now in a 1v1 format. This was all him. It wasn't like he was carried by 2 world champions or 2 ex-world champions. That was his own performances. Those were his own goals. Those are his own abilities that we saw on show. And as you see the breakdown of the stats, it's so close to call between Monaco and Bayern Munich, and you can see why those 2 teams were eventually finalists of this competition.
Yeah, you see Nexa, Mestre and Uzbekabel, our 3 top goal scorers for the season. Nexa, he was just fantastic this season. Uzbekabel, we know what he can do, but Mestre, for me, he left it all out in the final there against Uzbekabel, but it was just one step too far, and Uzbekabel has that quality in his locker.
Yeah, and given what we are thinking about, I mean, I'm not one to talk about future seasons, But if you do see Nexa come your way, the question now is, how do you stop him? Because there was nobody that stopped him. Through every game that he played, he scored goals, and he found a way to score goals. As Maccabi was a slow starter in the group stage, I think, even by his consideration. But again, when you got to knockout football, when you got to best of threes, it's where he lives. He lives in pressure. So his abilities were coming to the fore the minute he got into the knockout stage. And, you know, again, they are worthy winners of the title today.
Yeah, Nexa a force this season, Semra.
That he certainly is, and another force to be reckoned with is you, Weza. You called it. Congratulations to you as well. You did say that Monaco were going to take home the top prize, but they did one even better by doing it in 2 games. Still, nonetheless, we'll give you the credit for it. In any case, so we were talking there about a lot of the goals that have been scored. There have been so many to go around. There have been so many beautiful goals, majestic goals, fancy ones, clever ones. But now it's time to decide who actually picks up the best goal for today. And there you have it. It's Mestre with the best goal of the day. No real surprises, I think, considering everything that he did. He really went to battle, didn't he? He was going to be last chance saloon, got them very close to not necessarily making that happen, but unfortunately just with that last goal from his Maccabi in the dying minutes of the game, he wasn't able to take it into extra time. But having said that, Mestre has been performing on such a high level all the way throughout the campaign. You both have already talked about how important he has been for Bayern Munich, a lot of times carrying them through, taking them further than perhaps they could have done without him. He's been sensational.
He has, and I think, as you said, if you're going to go out, you have to go out swinging. I'm imagining this goal is probably the Serge Gnabry goal that blew out my vocal cords at the time, Wes. It was a fantastic equalising goal, I believe it was at the time. We'll take a look at it now. I mean, talk us through it, because to do this against a 3-time world champion is next to impossible.
Yeah, and it was the set. It was the set at the edge of the box where it was the dummy opens up the passing lane for the pass, and then you'll see a first-time dummy. Doesn't even take a touch with Gnabry. Instead, look, whoa, straight off, away you go. Finds the corner of the net, and given where that happened in the game, given that is an equaliser, that would have been something that sets the tone. That was how important that goal was at the time. Of course, it did prove to not really be as important as we thought it would be, but it was important enough there, and it's a great piece of skill. Of course, notably, we've seen other goals today, goals from Celtic, goals from Kilzu and Lotfi. I'm sure they'll get honourable mentions for kind of their importance of their goals in terms of the individual skill. But to do it under that pressure and under that spotlight, again, presence of mind, the confidence to execute it, and then the ability to finish it off.
Yeah, it was a goal worthy of a final. I didn't quite realise how sweet the finish was until we saw the angle of the replay, Semra, but well-deserving winner of that prize today.
A top-class finish from a top-class player, that's for sure. Well, let's cross over to Mestre and speak to him now. First of all, thanks for being here with us. We really appreciate you having a quick chat with us. I know it must feel a little bit bittersweet considering how things ended up for the team, but on an individual level, having known that you've just won this award for the best goal of today, at least how does it feel to walk away with something positive?
Yeah, it has been a great goal, of course. It hasn't ended as I expected. It was an equalizer, a good equalizer. But yeah, at the end, we didn't get the reward that we wanted. We wanted the title. So yeah, it's hard to come up against this. But yeah, I'm really happy, of course, about winning this prize.
And that was one of the best games, if not the best game, I think, of the entire tournament. Can you walk us through a little bit what it was like from your perspective, how you came back from behind twice, how you kept yourself in the game and going? Because from the outside looking in, it was just spectacular, the performance that you had today.
Yeah, of course, I was playing against the best history player, of course, and he's a totally monster. But I wanted to be focused till the end. I come back and I was leading 4-3. But yeah, in my opinion, was a 50-50 game. And of course, GG's to Monaco because they did an amazing tournament. They are the deserved winners. And of course, I want to thank my teammates, Alex and Jose. They have been with me during this whole tournament, and yeah, they did the best they know. So I'm really proud of them. Of course, thanks to Weza, to you, Semra, to Harry. It has been a great tournament, and I hope we can be more than ready for the next season.
I'm sure you'll bounce back better and stronger next season. Thanks so much, Mestre, and to your whole team. It's been a pleasure to watch you this season. You've been fabulous all around, and I absolutely think you can walk away feeling proud from this today. We'll see you very soon.
See you.
All right, well, let's move on then to find out who is going to scoop up the award for MVP, the most valuable player. This, of course, is an award that everybody wants to win, and it's going to go to Nexa. Surprise, I should say it's not a surprise, but I was trying to say, sorry. Someone who really does deserve this award, 18 years young, the second youngest player in the tournament. He made his debut. You have to remember, he came through the Open, so this was the first time he's actually played at this level on this massive stage in the eFootball Championship Pro, and he's made a huge splash. Top goal scorer, he's been blowing away opponents. I suppose having two world champions, multiple world champions in the ranks as well has really helped him to raise his game. He's been sensational, unstoppable, and I can only expect more is to come from him in the future, guys.
Absolutely clinical this season, well deserving. You can see his shots to shots on target ratio. He's only missed 6 shots in the entire competition, which is ridiculous to think about. Nexa, every single time he came up against an opposition, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, this is where he's going to be found out. No one was able to best this man this season. He's a big part of the reason that Monaco are the champions, and for me, well deserving of that MVP.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, the best debutant season that we've seen within eFootball, I think, without a shadow of a doubt. I think, in terms of the quality, in terms of the age, and I know Semra pointed out about the experience level that he's got behind him. To have, Guifera and as Maccabil as almost soundboards to go, okay, well, what would you do here? It lends itself to having quality and about having that ability, but it's then putting it into practice. You still got to be the person with the sticks, and as you pointed out, Harry, 31 shots and 16 goals. By my maths, that's every time he shoots, it's either a goal. Every 2 shots is a goal. So it's terrifying, because as a defender or as a player playing him, you'd be like, okay, well, every 2 shots he gets in this game, if he has 6 shots, I'm losing 3-0. It's unreal. It's unreal in terms of clinical nature, the ability to find ways to win. And again, as you said, difficult moments against Jose and against other players, he's found ways to get goals and found ways to get victories.
And it was such a big role to fill in this team, Semra, because Monaco have had successful seasons in the past. Of course, they've lost a couple of players. Nexa coming in, had a point to prove. Boy, did he prove it.
He certainly did. Well, let's actually speak to the main man himself then to get inside his head, so to speak, to get his perception of how he's performed throughout the entire tournament, and of course to see how he feels about picking up such a major accolade in his first time out at this level. Really is just so brilliant to see. I'm sure he'll be absolutely over the moon. It's really a great day for him all around. A complete performance, picking up this award as well as picking up this trophy soon enough right here next to me. Let's see if we can speak to him then to get his thoughts. There he is. I think he's still getting carried away with all of the celebrations. But my man, Nexa, how are you feeling now that you picked up yet another major prize on an individual level?
I'm very happy for the victory. MVP is incredible. And the title for Monaco. And the title of Monaco 3 times is incredible. I'm very proud. I'm very proud of this score. Nice, yeah. I'm very. Hola.
He's so happy, he's almost at a loss for words. Well, enjoy your celebrations. You have earned it, you deserved it. Congratulations to you and to your entire team.
Thanks.
See you very soon indeed. Right, well, on that note, guys, I'm sad to say that's it. This is a wrap. There's nothing left for this season. It's all done and dusted, but it's been absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait for the next season to start already. I see the two of you up on our screens. Hold tight, I will ask you a question in just a minute, but I do want to remind our viewers at home that tomorrow is a very big, very important day because it kick-starts the eFootball Championship Open tomorrow. tomorrow, Monday, June 27th. So be there, be square, massively important. But around August, on August 14th, Sunday, stick around because that is the World Finals as well. So just before we sign off for today, for the season, Harry, Wizza, any final parting thoughts from the two of you?
Well, I appreciate everyone's patience to get to this point, but it definitely paid off because this season was one for the history books. Incredible action, so much entertainment. Monaco are the champions. But the important thing to remember, eFootball Championship Open starts tomorrow. Our MVP this season graduated through that program, so it could be you next year.
Yeah, it's certainly something to emulate if you are looking for that. Obviously, a big thank you to everybody involved with the production, obviously all the players, all the teams. And just a small personal note from me, it is my dad's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dad. I have to be sentimental at the last part. I'm sorry, I have to be. I have to steal a personal moment. But of course, to take it back to the game, again, if you're looking for a poster player, you're looking at Nexa now because he's graduated from the Open. Now he's the MVP, top goal scorer and title holder. You can't get better than that.
Skyrocketing his way to the top. Absolutely sensational. Well, thanks to the two of you. A very happy birthday to Wes's dad, by the way. The two of you have been phenomenal. You deserve awards of your own. It's been a pleasure to work with the two of you and to the whole entire team here as well behind the scenes. It's been an absolute privilege. It's been beautiful, brilliant, bonkers 3 weeks. Absolutely loved every single moment of it, and I can't wait for more in the future. I hope all of you enjoyed the tournament as well. We'll see you all very soon, and we'll leave you now with your eFootball Championship Pro 2022 champions, AS Monaco. See you soon.